The moment you start taking better care of yourself, certain people in your life start acting different toward you. And it comes down to the role they assigned you before you started leveling up and the fact that you're no longer playing it. Every social circle has a quietly agreed upon structure that nobody announces, but everybody understands. There's the friend who's always struggling, the girl who puts herself last, the friend who's insecure enough to make other people feel secure by comparison, and the one who can always be counted on to go along with whatever because she never has anything better going on. These roles are assigned because they serve someone. The friend who's always struggling makes the people around her feel more stable by comparison. The girl who puts herself last never challenges anyone to do better because she's too busy managing everyone else. The people pleaser keeps the peace so nobody ever has to have an uncomfortable conversation. These dynamics work for everybody in the group until one person decides they don't want to play their part anymore. Prioritizing yourself disrupts that structure because the people around you built their comfort on the version of you that was always available, always agreeable, and never too focused on yourself to show up for whatever they needed. And if you're not already subscribed, now would be a good time. Subscribe and stick around because I'm just getting started. A lot of relationships are held together by shared dysfunction, and opting out of those patterns shakes the relationship itself. Think about it. Some bonds exist almost entirely around complaining together, bonding over shared insecurities, or abandoning goals at the same time so nobody has to feel left behind. Those dynamics feel like closeness, but they're really just mutual stagnation dressed up as friendship. Stopping participation in those patterns means changing the terms of the relationship, and your consistency starts exposing what the relationship was actually built on. Some people would rather pressure you back into old habits than examine why your growth makes them uncomfortable. You get more intentional with your time, more selective about where your focus goes, and less available for things that drain you. And to someone who's counting on that access, your boundaries feel like a personal decision made against them. You didn't challenge anyone or make a single comment about their choices. You just started making better ones for yourself, and that's enough to activate the covert competition that most people pretend doesn't exist. The person who feels threatened by your self care isn't reacting to what you said, they're reacting to what your choices imply about theirs. Your choices communicate even when you say nothing. Going to bed at a reasonable hour, being selective about what you eat, protecting your mornings, passing on things that used to be automatic. People read all of that as you pulling away from them, as you thinking you're better, as you making a statement you never actually made. And the reason they read it that way is because your discipline is making their avoidance visible, and that's uncomfortable. Rather than sit with that discomfort, the easier move is to pressure you back into the version of yourself that was easier to be around. That's why every time you justify your routine or explain your boundaries, you're handing them an opening to negotiate with you about standards you've already set for yourself. The explanation becomes the invitation. Your consistency also exposes that structure is possible. A life with more order, more intention, and more follow through sits uncomfortably next to environments that run on chaos and avoidance. And the people inside those environments don't always respond to your stability with admiration. Sometimes they respond with resentment because your discipline is making their lack of it harder to justify. Some people only understood the version of you that was accessible and available and not yet operating at a standard that made them feel the distance between where they are and where you're going. Your responsibility is to maintain your routines and protect your peace, not to manage everyone's reaction to the fact that you're doing it. You don't owe anyone a comfortable front row seat to your growth. Self-care changes who still has access to you, and that's the part that unsettles people the most. Access to you used to be free, and now it costs reciprocity, respect, and a baseline of energy that goes both ways. The people who can't meet that will show you without you having to ask. If you're new here, I'm Nisi York. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok as Nutrition Nisi. My channel covers beauty, nutrition, and lifestyle. Drop a comment and tell me, have you ever had someone react negatively to you taking better care of yourself? I want to hear it, and if this resonated with you, share it, like it, and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Take care.